This is Andrew Kubiak from Invection, coming at you from my extremely hot, shitty apartment. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing the douchey sleeveless shirt, it's because my apartment's right above the boiler. So today I'm going to take you through the song Derealization off our EP Derealization. It'll also be on our full length. I'm going to show you at regular speed, slow speed, break it down into parts, explain a little theory about it. Hopefully if you dig the song, by the end of this you'll be able to play it. So first I'm going to go through the song. Here we go. So that was Guitar 1 of Derealization. I played the solos for Guitar 1 on that one. If you want to do the solo backing for those solos, it's the same as the riff I played after. It's just the... So you can just put that one under and that'll be good for that segment. So next we're going to break it down. We're going to do piece by piece, a little bit slower. Alright, so here we are. We're going to break it down piece by piece so you can kind of put them together. I'm going to show you the riff here, then you can apply it to the song, watching the first part. After this, we're going to go over a little bit of theory behind the song, maybe help it out a little bit. So, just going to break it down. So first, we have the intro. The backing guitar is pretty simple. It's just holding the chords and kind of keeping the background going. So first, obviously, riff's gonna start, and the background guitar is gonna go. So that's just the backing. So now we're going to go into kind of the melody, the riff over that, which is pretty simple. It's just one riff or melody played, and then we add in a root note change, so it kind of mixes it up a little bit. Kind of a thing I took a little bit from the Gothenburg bands back in the 90s. They used to do that a lot, and it makes it sound pretty fucking evil. So here's going to be that riff, and here we go. So as you can tell, that's a little bit complicated, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down. So here, we're going to play it slow. And obviously, you know the part after that. Next, we're going to go into the verse. So the verse riff is a little bit complicated, but not too complicated once you get it down. The biggest thing is just getting the rhythm correct. So I'm going to play this fast, then I'm going to play it slow. So here is the verse riff. And then if I were to play that slow, it might come out a little bit clearer. So here's the slow version of that riff. So next we have the chorus. This is a little bit heavier, kind of the slow down section. It's got a little bit of variations that come with it, so I'm just going to play the chorus itself and then, kind of play the sections after, just in succession. You can probably figure those out yourself. So, here is the chorus. So that's the chorus with the ending. On the different choruses, there's different amount of reps, different endings, so you'll just have to figure that out by ear, or, if you have a question, you can send us a message. Probably not, though. So now I'm going to play it slower, get a little bit more of a feeling for it, see the notes a little bit more clearly, kind of feel the groove. So here's the chorus slow. So, kind of fucked up the beginning of that slow part, but hey, you get it anyway. So next from that, we basically have all the riffs. So now we're going to move to the solo backings, and then we'll be good. First solo backing is pretty simple. It's just a really fast riff, so you gotta have a fast picking hand. First I'm going to play it fast, then I'll play it slow. This is under my solo, or the first solo, then I'll play the second solo backing. So here it is. Kind of tough in terms of picking, but not actual notes. So now I'm going to break it down a little bit slower so you can get the actual notes involved. So next will be the second solo backing. This one's a little bit higher up, kind of a modulation. I'll go into that in the theory section, but this is under Drew's solo. This is the second one. And played slow. So as you can see, it's pretty simple, just root chords, a little bit of a flair on it with the, and then that's basically it. That's the entire song. Easy. Alright, so now that we've basically gone over all the riffs in the songs, I'm going to talk a little bit about theory and the rhythms used behind it. For starters, in the intro, it's a lot of triplets throughout the entire song actually. And then in the intro, for example, we use the changing of the root of the riff, which is, again, like I said, a classic Gothenburg technique. Really makes it sound evil. So if you notice in the intro, the triplets really shine out. I mean, you have it starting out with... So triplets are very much used there, and they even come into the chorus, or not the chorus, the verse, because in the verse you have those single notes with the triplet in between, which ties it all together. So for example, so you have all sorts of triplets going out through that, you know, just... It's one of the main things in the song. Also, the whole song basically revolves around D, you know, the tonic, so it's pretty simple in regards to that. When it comes down to the chorus, you start seeing a couple of the chords that we like to use, which are the chords where you don't have the typical power chord. Instead of having a, we have a, makes it a little bit more evil, kind of, you know, adds a little bit of variation. So for example, in the chorus you have... That note right there that really adds something different that would be more interesting than a... makes it a little bit less bright. So we incorporate those all over the place. When you get down to the solo, then that's where it really gets tricky into the theory. We have the first solo, which is basically just a straight D. You know, there's nothing but the tonic that... And that's pretty basic, though. However, to move to the second solo, to make it a little bit more interesting, add some flair, we move to the subdominant, which in this case obviously is G. So we move up from the D, E, F, G. Now we're here in the subdominant, which is it's considered pleasing to the ears, but just use it to variation instead of having everything be the same.